It is 6:03, and we call this meeting to order. Madam City Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Crankshaw,
Present.
Councilmember Camarena,
Present.
Councilmember Marroquin,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Elliott,
Present.
Mayor Carter.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand. We're going to have Councilmember Crankshaw leave us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. We're going to have Councilmember Camarena lead us in the invocation.
Lord, we come before you this day asking for your wisdom and your guidance, Lord. Help us, Lord God, to make decisions that will prosper our residents, Lord God, our city, Lord God. Protect each and every one of us, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you to both of you.
You're welcome.
Madam City Attorney, do we have any reports from closed session?
There are no reports from closed session today, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. The City Council welcomes your input. At this time, members of the public may address the City Council on any matter not listed on the posted agenda. Pursuant the Brown Act, no action will be taken on any issue brought forth under public comments. We ask that you please complete a speaker slip and submit it to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Although you are not required to identify yourself, this information on the speaker slip assists the mayor that all persons wishing to address the council are recognized and also assist the city clerk in preparing the city council meeting minutes. Unless the mayor extends the time, there is a 3-minute limit for each public presentation. Any information provided on the speaker slip is voluntary for a public comment. Public record. So we're going to move on to our presentations, and we have a lot of presentations for our youth. We are so proud of you and all of your accomplishments, and we want to make sure we only have one.
Oh, okay.
But it's not for this item.
Okay.
It's for 14. Yes, but are there any other public comments before I move on? But we just have one.
Have none here.
No, okay, thank you. Yes, so we do have today a lot of presentations to assist today. So we are excited, very excited about our youth, their future, their accomplishments. We're going to do things a little different today. Our city clerk is going to call your name. Once she calls your name, you're going to walk through. The council members will be standing. We'll shake your hand, and then you'll line up straight down here, and we're going to line up for a picture. So as you get your certificate, please come up, and then we'll line up here after you shake everybody's hand. After everybody gets their certificate, we're going to give the Superintendent Castro a few minutes to speak, and then we will take a group picture before everybody leaves. Yes.
Jimena Roa. Joseph Terraza. Camila Santana. Oscar Cortez. Samuel Valverde. Esteban García.
Oh.
April Cázares. Michael Campos. Gilberto Cázares. Noah Figueroa. Cassandra Covarrubias, Christopher Hernández Carrillo, Hannah Saldaña Torres, Paloma González, Ezequiel Nathaniel Vega, Lía Melissa Mesa, Ismael Ramos, Jorge Rosas, Diego Galván, Eric Ochoa, Emiliano Valdés, if they want to come over. There you go. Peraza, Joseph Peraza. Okay. Violet Cantú. Violet Cantú. Mateo Hernández Magaña. Sandra Espinosa. Jack Burt. Jace Bethel. Samantha Duran. Joaquín Morales, right here. Esteban Quintero. Marian Muñoz Campoy. Barbara Wood. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well,
Do we want to get the picture first?
Emilio, would you like to take the picture first and then have the superintendent speak? Or?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
no, absolutely.
Oh, you have them all up here, huh? Okay. Thank you. Okay, council, if you want to move in, please.
Ready for them?
He's in the front.
Can you take a picture? Yeah, no, a little, yeah, right there, right there. Yeah.
We know I'm gonna say.
Here we go. Poquito, please, hold on. Hold on, just a little bit. done. Almost done, I swear. And thank you, guys.
Well, students, as you step out, we are so proud of you. As you can see, many of you know me, Mr. Castro, and want to tell you how proud we are. If you look around here, you see your parents, you see our Central Elementary School District Board of Trustees, your principals, teachers, and like I said, your family and friends. I first want to start off by thanking Mayor Carter and the City Council. Thank you for recognizing our students. We see our students every single day and are always so proud of them. And this time, as these students came up, and I want every student to hear this that's here today, these are our top 3 to 4 students at every school. But by saying that, they all want awards, I'm gonna repeat myself here, but by saying that, I wanna tell you, I could bring all our students, all 5,000 students here because all of them have achieved something. And we are so proud of them. And thank you very much. I love how we've come together between the city and our district, and we're working together. And I guess all I have to say is thank you, because I'm so proud of our students every single day. I can go on and on about them, and now everybody here is recognizing them also. So thank you for having us here. Look forward to continued, what would I say, relationship,
Yes.
our continued relationship with the city. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We would like to thank you all and the parents for coming out and supporting your children as they were acknowledged today. We appreciate it. And thank you, Superintendent Castro. Thank you. And to all the staff, the El Centro Elementary School District staff, I see a lot of your faces. Thank you for coming out and supporting the kiddos. Okay, we're going to move on to the next recognition. Oh, yeah, he's next.
Let's go.
What's up, or Hemlock? Hemlock.
Mario, just tell him I don't want you all over my.
Oh, you say hi to Lefty.
Yeah, I want to.
He has the same surgery I had. See.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, there's okay. That was a lot of handshaking.
Oh, yeah,
Good thing they have me earlier.
you're right.
Well, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. That was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to see the smile on the kids' faces. Just so nice, nice, very nice. Um, my colleagues and I, we had the honor of going to an Eagle Scout event. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. From the time we walked in the door to the time we left. Excellent hospitality. While we were there, the dad, Frank, he asked me if I could come up and accept 2 awards. Once I accepted the awards, I just didn't feel right. I said, I wanted to invite you to the meeting where you can come and give them to these 2 phenomenal employees yourself. So they're here with us today, Frank Aceves and his family, and the awards are, do you have them, Madam City Clerk? Oh, I did, sorry. If you want to come and get the awards and you can, they don't know. We didn't tell them anything, so that's why I haven't said their names. I wanted you to give them their own shout out. There you go.
So this is in support of the Ms. Nava and her ongoing commitment to our community, right? And I'm a strong proponent of advocating for our youth, right? I believe that an investment into our youth is the best investment possible. You don't put fertilizer on an old tree, right? You put fertilizer on a plant, on a small plant that's growing. And so I think that's important. And Ms. Nava embodied that in this engagement that she helped our son. So we'd like to present her a small memento.
I don't know if he found parking. But he also bought new basketball shoes, and he's really been taking care of, so I don't know.
So it's another word for him that you can give it to him on our behalf.
Yes, I will.
Thank you. And Frank, while you're here, we want to give you a recognition as well from the city of El Centro. And we would like to take a picture with my colleagues and I. If you and your mom and dad will stand up here with us, we would be honored. Please. And Miss Adriana, if you
Yes.
would join us, please. Where's your plaque?
Something I wanted to share with Frank too.
Parents, if you want to
parents,
join us
please.
up here, please.
All right, here we go.
So Andy is worried about
Second.
CRMC late bills for this.
And smile, yeah, cool. You almost done, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I had no idea, 'cause Chief didn't tell me, he just
I
said,
know.
be ready. But I do want to say a few words. Usually as staff, we don't get awards from the community. There's usually a complaint about us. So for us, it's a unique circumstance. But I did go back to my calendar, met Frank July 18, 2024, and he discussed his Eagle Scout project. Javier, myself, were really impressed with the project that he presented, and we actually have some photos that I believe they shared with us on the project that he was doing. So he did some benches, and I'm sure other things at Farmers Park. And it's not every day that we have youth that are ready and committed to do something in the community. And so it's incredible that 1 year later, he achieved his goal and brought his vision to life. As staff, I do want to say that it's a proud moment to support people like Frank and his family. His dad had come with him, and his mom had corresponded with us a couple of times via email to coordinate. And so honestly, for us, this is a reminder of our commitment to the community, that it's not just in words. And I always say that it's about our actions, how we really speak to our residents, how we deal with them, and the things that we can do if they're within, a realm of possibility. So I really appreciate it. We will have those benches for a long time. And Frank, good job. You're a great communicator. You presented what you wanted and you made it happen. And yes, you have the support from your parents like we all do. We all get that loving support, but you did it. So good job to you.
Yeah, sure.
Frank, could you please come to the podium where the microphone is? Just briefly. I don't want to prolong our meeting, but I think we don't want to miss anything. Could you do us a favor? You look a little taller than the last time we saw you, last month. And you got a haircut. Looks good. Could you do us a favor? I'd like to hear the Scouts pledge really loud in that microphone for the whole room to hear.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you, your salute, the 3 fingers, could you tell us what that means, the significance of that?
So it's basically representing and like your pledge to scouting. Anytime you do the Scout oath or law, it's taking a pledge and making sure you follow in your everyday life.
Wow.
I also have a speech I'd like to say. So
Okay.
Oh,
good
thank
evening.
you. Yes.
I first want to say that I'm proud to grow up in the city of El Centro. I'd like to thank to the El Centro Parks and Rec Department and the city of El Centro for helping me with my Eagle Scout journey. Thank you for your recognition today.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And we look forward to your future. We just can't wait to
Yes.
see
Yes.
what adventures you're going to bring us next. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if we could have a second, just to.
Yeah, sure.
So we had talked about this at your event, but it just tells you what a small community we are. We all know everyone here for the most part. Even though that we're growing, just like you are, the city is still a small community. I've known Frank since he was born. I believe that blue handkerchief was hanging on you even then. I see him when he plays with my grandsons and him have come up through the desert and learning their stuff out there. But I was really taken back to understand that only 5% or less achieve what you achieved
Yes.
at your age. That's remarkable, and I just wanted to commend you for that. So,
Yes.
good job.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move on to our next presentation. That is by Brendan Brown, Reps for Vets, regarding suicide awareness among veterans.
I called him. I didn't call him. His partner called me. He's in the hospital sick, so he couldn't. I'm sorry. I guess he didn't get the message to you, but he's in the hospital.
Oh, okay. Well, please send
Yes.
that.
We'll reschedule him.
Yes, yes, please. And
Yes.
just let him know that we will be thinking about him.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us know. Now we have the launch of the new City of El Centro website.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members
Good
of council, City of El Centro All-Star Team, and members of the public. I'm proud to announce today that the City of El Centro will launch its newly modernized website tomorrow at 2 o'clock. This upgrade is part of a comprehensive multi-product contract with Civic Plus, which also includes our mass notification system, our Civic Clerk, Civic Rec, and more. We prepared a brief video to highlight the key features and improvements of the new site. Following the video, I will gladly answer any questions you may have.
Welcome to the City of El Centro, where innovation meets accessibility. We're excited to introduce our newly redesigned city website, a much-needed modernization that brings a cleaner, more intuitive experience to all who visit. Whether you're accessing city services, staying informed, or exploring upcoming events, this upgrade is designed with you in mind. Not only is the new site visually refreshed, it also meets the latest standards for ADA compliance, ensuring accessibility for everyone in our community. Among the many new features, a sleek mobile-friendly design, a powerful site-wide search system, a user-friendly alert center integrated with our mass notification system, chatbot support to help guide you 24/7, an improved press release and news section, department-specific calendar views, the ability to create user accounts and receive customized notifications, a robust archive center for reports, policies, and historical records, SEO optimization, and enhanced Google Analytics for performance monitoring, back-end chat support system for real-time assistance. This new platform is built to serve you faster, smarter, and more connected than ever before. This is more than just a new look. It's a renewed commitment to transparency, accessibility, and better service for the residents of El Centro. Visit us online and experience the difference. City of El Centro, shining with opportunity.
And I can answer any questions you may have.
Good job, thank you. I don't have any questions, but just a comment, just very good job, thank you. Love the upgrade. Any questions, colleagues? No?
I think it addresses us low-tech people as well, so. Good job.
Mario, could you just talk
Mario.
about the funding real quick and the cost and the funding source?
Sure.
Please, thank you.
This is paid through ARPA funds. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was about 114,000 total for 4 years.
146.
If I remember correctly, and it was discounted price because we bundled a bunch of several different services, including mass notification, Civic Clerk, Civic Rec, as well as tech support, training. So a lot of different things, more technical things. So it's no impact to our general fund or Measure P or anything like that. It's all paid through our ARPA funds.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate the presentation, thank you very much, Mario. Now we will move on to our consent agenda items. May I get a motion and a second to adopt the consent items 5 through 10, please?
I have a question. I want to pull one, item 9.
Can we
Item
vote for
six.
the 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10, please?
I move to, we accept the items 5 through 8 and then 10
Yes, and number 10.
and 10, number 10
A
also.
second.
Adriana, are you going to speak on number 9?
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember
thank
Marroquin, we need
Oh,
your vote.
I'm sorry, forgot to save.
you.
Motion passes
I
5-0.
voted and I forgot to
Thank
say,
you.
yeah.
Yes, Pam.
I just had a question. Did you want to present or you want me to just ask my question?
No, go ahead. In short, this is federal funding. We were originally, when the president released his budget proposal, we thought we were going to be on the chopping block, and it turned out a little bit differently. We had originally estimated an award of $526,655. But when we received our funding allocation, it was 502,738 for public services. 15% is eligible of the amount we receive. And so we shaved down accordingly and evenly amongst the various public services providers. So it was an equal shave amongst all of them using the 15% reduction.
Okay, and those are for the ones that we had already awarded the
Yes,
last time in
yes,
anticipation? Okay.
Yes, and we were pending our final allocation. So when we received our final allocation, all of the other awards stayed the same with the exception of public services, which is limited to the 15% cap, and we reduced it evenly across the various recipients.
Okay, and the only question I had here was about the, and I'm gonna go back to, on the last page, where it says, housing activities, purchase of bus shelters, and then asbestos removal. Is that coordinated together, and is that part of this?
No, the purchase of the bus shelters was not the item that was selected. Instead, the council selected the Fraser Field improvements. And what was the second question? Apologies.
Where it says asbestos, because it was on the same line, so I
Oh,
was
yes.
confused because the
Asbestos
others were
is
zero.
included every year when we do we typically do one housing rehab project. And we have to check for asbestos because most of the housing stock that we deal with has asbestos. So every year we have to, when we do a housing rehab, we have to check it. So that was including the housing asbestos.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify, because here it said 10,000 and the other one it said zero, so I just wanted to make sure it was
Yes.
zero.
Yes, it
Okay.
was. You're correct.
That was my
Thank you.
question. Thank you.
So we need a vote on this item, Mayor?
Yes, may I have a motion and a second to approve, number 9, please?
So
I
will
move to
motion-
move on 9. Oh,
I will motion to approve number 9.
and I'll second.
Thank you.
Item passes 5-0.
Thank you. We did receive a blue slip, so I'm going to go back to that. Fausto Hernandez. Would like to speak, please.
Mayor, Councilman.
Good afternoon.
Good
or Good
afternoon.
evening.
Yes, we did a blue slip because we want to get a stop sign on 6 in Hamilton. I know there's been incidents here, left and right accidents, as well as having 3 of our dogs get run over on that street. So we're trying to look forward to get a stop sign there, and as well as sometimes during the mornings when I take my son to schools, there's cars just swinging by quick, and there's even students and parents trying to cross, and some of the cars don't even stop, they just keep going. And sometimes I have to intervene and stop them in their tracks to let them cross as well. So we want to try to get a stop sign there, at least slow down traffic a little. And when you're trying to cross from Hamilton, go across to 6th Street, you can't really see the sides because there's cars blocking your view. That's where some of the accidents do happen, because you can't really see anything past the vehicle.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. We do have our officers here. They might want to step out and talk to you and see. But we appreciate it.
Abraham would like to
There's
speak.
also an
Abraham.
incident where an officer was hit by a car going.
Yeah, like 2
So we've
months
been
ago.
witnesses to a lot of accidents, especially at the beginning of the school year. And we want to, put a stop sign there. 'Cause every beginning of the school year, there's a lot of accidents happening there from that point.
Abraham wants to speak.
Oh, thank you, Abraham. You want to? Oh, you'll speak with them? Oh, thank you. Is
Thank
there
you.
anything else that you guys would like to say? We
Nope, that was
appreciate you
all.
coming out and
Yes.
voicing your opinion. Thank you very much. And Abraham he'll step outside and speak with you
Okay.
guys. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Councilman,
Yes.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Abraham. Whew, yeah. Okay, this is a public hearing regarding a time extension on the Lotus Ranch tentative subdivision map. This is going to be presented by Angel Hernandez.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the council.
Good
The item before
evening.
you is a recommendation from our planning commission regarding providing a time extension for the Lotus Ranch tentative subdivision. So this is a project that was initially approved by the city council back in September 6, 2016, and encompasses 213 acres south of Interstate 8 between the Brucherie Avenue and Lewis Canal. And what it consists of is a single-family subdivision. It's proposed to have 547 single-family lots, around a 10-acre public park, school site, retention basins, and what they're also proposing is phase development. So it's a rather large subdivision, so the plan was to have it phased out into individual phases as the development went along. You can kind of see this this diagram show you the different phases that were proposed at that time. So something about time extensions. So subdivision maps, the subdivision process in El Centro and most other cities in California are regulated by the State Subdivision Map Act and also our city's subdivision ordinance. And with that, initially when a subdivision comes before the city council or our planning commission, it has an initial life of 24 months, 2 years. However, there's other ways for the map to be extended. It could be automatic extensions. For example, the latest one was in 2020 during the COVID pandemic, and they gave additional time for applicants who have maps that met certain criteria, more time to get that recorded. There's also other extensions depending on if there's like a substantial amount of offsite improvements that need to be done for a project. And each map, so you're looking at kind of like the screen, this is like the entire subdivision that was planned out, but there's individual phases. So each time that they record a map that actually subdivides that phase, it extends the map another 2 years. So those are automatic extensions that could be done. What's before you is it's a discretionary extension. So we had to take this to Planning Commission, City Council, and what it allows the applicant to do is extend the life by 12 months. They could do this up to 6 years in total, but they can only request like 12-month extensions. That's in our in the subdivision map act. That's the limit. So the project status, so currently there's maps recorded for units B1 and B2. There's 22 homes that are already built in B1, that's Manzanita Drive, and there's 22 homes that are under construction on Chaparral Drive, that's B2. There's already been a substantial amount of city improvements, public improvements that have already been built out. If you drive there, you can see Wick Avenue was extended west of the Brucherie Avenue. A sewer lift station was relocated to the site, and also a sewer main was also installed on Wake Avenue. So there's a large amount of public improvements that were already built for this development. Currently, the expiration date of the map is August 5th, 2025, and if the time extension is approved by the City Council, it will extend it by another 12 months to August 5th, 2026. So regarding the site and the zoning, the site is zone R1 single family. The general plan is low density residential, and we found that the project continues to be consistent with our zoning and our general plan. This area is kind of at the edge of town, so you do have single family residential that's to the east where Farmers Estates is, and it's mostly surrounded by agricultural fields and also hay storage facility to the south. Which are located in the county's jurisdiction. So this project was subject to the California Environmental Quality Act, and that already went before the City Council when it was first improved in 2016. We did have a public hearing before the Planning Commission regarding this specific time extension, and that was noticed to the public as well, and also noticed in the newspaper. There at the May 13th meeting, the Planning Commission unanimously recommended that the time extension be approved. For today, we published the notice. It was also published on the city website, city's Facebook. Notices were sent out to the property owners surrounding the site, and just notifying them of the public hearing that's going to be tonight. We didn't receive any comments when we did the public hearing notice back in May for a Planning Commission hearing, and we haven't received any comments for today's public hearing. So findings, this is when reviewing these time extensions, the code requires that you look at the findings that are usually that are required whenever the planning commission or city council approve these subdivisions. Findings are basically the criteria that that we use to justify approval. The first two findings are regarding the city's general plan. I'm going to read this all, but generally we find it still consistent with the general plan as it was approved back in 2016. We found the project still has improvements such as walkways, pedestrian paths between the different cul-de-sacs. It also is planned out to have a park and also a school site. So we found this still consistent with the general plan's policies regarding neighborhood development. The other policy that is consistent is that the city's already, this site is already in the city limits. There's already a substantial amount of infrastructure there. So it's not gonna require, you know, it's not totally a greenfield development that's required. It's gonna require even more infrastructure. So we found that consistent with the policy of focusing development within city boundary and within our sphere of influence to ensure that that there is an adequate amount of facilities for it. We found that the project is still suitable for development. It's relatively flat land, large. The density hasn't changed, and the development centers haven't changed that would prohibit development as initially proposed in 2016. The site was found that they would not cause substantial environmental damage. A lot of that work was done in 2016 when the city council approved the environmental impact report for the project. And we found that the project still remains consistent with our, with our development centers regarding subdivisions. And we don't foresee that this is going to cause any conflicts with the easements or anything like that. So if the item is approved by the city council, that would provide the applicant, the property owner, another year to either record another map for one of the phase developments, or they could potentially request another time extension for another 12 months. They would have to do that before August 5th of 2016, though. Sorry, August 5th of 2026. So staff recommendations that the city council open the public hearing, and after allowing input from the public, that they move forward by adopting the resolution before you. And I'm available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Didn't you say, Angel, that there was like a 6-year limit?
Yes. So they could. Yes. So these are discretionary extensions, and they can only request them at 12-month chunks, and but in total they cannot go past 6 years.
So now there's only like 22 houses and 22 more being built. In other words, it's been going pretty slow. Is that a concern?
Yes, there was after the.
What if you reach your limit? Then what do you do?
I'm sorry.
What if you reach the limit, 6 years? Then what do you do?
Well, there's other ways. Like I mentioned, they could every time they record one of these phase maps, it extends it another 2 years. So that it's not only that they have to build everything out within 2 years. They don't need to build everything out within that time period. They have other ways to extend it besides these 12-month discretionary extensions.
Because it's going pretty slow, but do you anticipate it speeding up with some?
Yeah, did you see kind of the progress that's been made in the last 12 months? At first, it was just the homes on Monsanto Drive that were built. Currently, they're under construction on Chaparral Drive. This is the 22 homes. And speaking of the property owner, there's another phase map that's being reviewed right now, and they're proposing on extending development southwards too. So they're active right now. Yes.
Because
they're moving forward recently. Yes.
It's like 516 homes planned, right?
547.
550 almost, yeah. So, okay.
Hernandez, is this the first extension they've requested?
Yes. Yes, so they've gone since 2016. They've recorded a couple of final maps which extended the life of the map, and because there's a substantial amount of public improvements that need to be done, they also qualified some for additional time for that too.
So that is the start date. I think it said August 5th. Is that what it said? It was back one slide.
Let's see.
Oh, August 5th. See, 12
That's
months.
the expiration.
That's the expiration date. So right now they would have until August 5th to, if they don't get the time extension, they would have until August 5th to prepare one of the subdivision maps.
Thank you. Okay, colleagues.
We have to open the public hearing, Madam
Yes,
Mayor?
this is a public hearing regarding a time extension for the Lotus Ranch tenant subdivision map. I will now open the public hearing if there's anyone wishing to speak on this item.
Good evening, Council. My name is Matthew Cowie. I'm the broker of Princeton Associates Realtors, and we are the broker for the South Renaissance Lotus Ranch. It is backwards on your map up there. Chaparral is actually built out. Manzanita is the one that we're currently working on. Excuse me, it's been a while since I've talked in public. The reason for these homes off is taking a little bit longer. These are the high-end homes of Imperial County, and we build semi-custom homes for these clients. So the client gets to actually choose their lot, choose their home, and that's it. Actually, we physically build on this property. So unlike a traditional tract home where they're just built out, we actually build these homes for these clients. So we did go through COVID delays back in 2020, and obviously getting reestablished, going onto the street, getting all the infrastructure done for Manzanita and going forward. So that's the reason they move a little bit slower. But we have 10 that are being built that are moving along rather quickly right now. We have another 10 that are ready to rock and roll once these 10 go, and then obviously move south through the subdivision.
So you think that, I mean, you're waiting for buyers?
Oh, no, we have the buyers.
Okay.
Yeah, so the way and Belinda can talk about this more. The way the construction loan works, so we can build the 10 currently. As we complete one, we can start the next one and kind of snowball through that.
But I'm just asking, there's no lack of buyers then when you're, as completing these developments?
No, we're
these
completely,
sections?
we're completely basically sold out on these 22 that we're building, and we have
Yes.
an interest list hundreds deep right now. Yeah, there's no lack of interest on these properties. If we can build all of them, we could sell all of them today.
What is like the median price when they end up being, I know over time it always changes, but.
Sure, yeah, these are, like I said, these are the high-end homes of El Centro and Imperial County. We start off in the high 600,000s, low 700,000s for these homes. So this is not the entry-level type home. And again, this is our move-up buyer for our county. Our streets are filled with our high-end professionals of the valley. So again, if we can build all of them today, we would have all of them sold. So, yeah.
Wow, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Any other questions, colleagues? No? No? Okay, at this time, the public hearing is now closed. I will bring it back to the city council for any comments.
That's pretty clear.
All righty, sounds good. And now can I get a motion in a second?
A motion to approve?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. This is a public hearing to consider a rate increase in the collection, transportation, recycling process, and disposable of solid waste for 2025, 26, excuse me. This presentation will be delivered by Abraham.
Hi, good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council members. Today, we're in our annual rate increase request. Go through a little bit of a history of the contract right now, and from there, we'll be moving on to this year's request. So starting with the background, this is a pass-through cost. This is not something that is for profit on CRNR. This is in compliance with a Prop 218 process that we completed back in 2022 when we reinstated the contract. Basically, we got it and restarted the contract in 2022 with CRNR. that triggered a Prop 218 process. A Prop 218 process, just for background, is a process where we do a public hearing similar to this. We provide the maximum rates that can be expected by the residents for the next 5 years. And then every year, based on some CPIs, we come up with a number that needs to be under or at that Prop 218 number. So for due diligence, the contract establishes certain time periods for CRNR to submit the backup on why they're asking for CRNR. Those are prescribed parameters in the contract. On March 24th, they did submit it on a timely fashion, the request. And once we get the request, because it's a lot of CPI, PCI information, we do send it to HF&H. They are a solid waste consultant. They're a third party. They verify the calculations, work back and forth with CRNR, and either verify or recommend changes to the math that was provided by CRNR. On May 20th, HF&A confirmed that the information is correct after some tweaks to the information, but the rates stay the same. And at that point, we were ready to submit for public hearing. This was advertised on June 6th in the paper, and here we are. So just for background on the process here, I mentioned those CPI rates. So this adjustment factor, that percent that goes up, it's a combination through a formula. It considers CPIs for labor, fuel, equipment, insurance. A CPI is called all other, and a tonnage charge. So based on the formula, this comes with an adjustment factor. This is the math that gets reviewed and approved by HF&H, and which you are today reviewing and agreeing to. So based on that math, we came up with single-family commercial that the adjustment factor was 2.3%. You want to remember I mentioned in past meeting that the maximum that they can go is 4% per the contract. Even if the adjustment factor, if we get a crazy inflation year where the inflation is 6%, 7%, their contract would be capped at 4%. In this case, they did not reach it. The CPI and that adjustment factor, this formula, and produced a number of 2.3% for single-family residential. That's about 56 cents per month, a rate increase for the residents. Roll-off box service and roll-off box disposal by the tonnage amount is 3.2%, and the roll-off box service 2.8%. And as I show in the third column, it's just HF&H did confirm the numbers that are correct. Just as this compares to the Prop 218, we always want to be true to that we told the public back then. The blue line represents the Prop 218 allowed rates, and the orange, or actually maximum rates approved by the Prop 218, and the orange represents what's been charged since that 2022 Prop 218 process. As you can see, we're under the Prop 218 amount as we move forward. This is more for historical now. This is not adjusted for inflation. So in $2007, the contract started at $15.99, and you see that it's been stable. One thing to mention is sometimes it stays flat. For 2014 to 2017, it didn't go up at all. And then it started going back up again. And then we had the contract renegotiation in 2022. And then from there, it's been steady again. So this is just purely for historical, because for all intents and purposes, 2022 was a restart of the contract. So what does this mean? So last year, the rate was $24.47, and now it's being proposed at $25.03. Now, just to clarify, because it's been brought up before, every residential does include a number that is down here, this used oil filter collection was 6 cents. So the rate is $25.03 plus 6 cents that everybody gets charged. So what customers will see in their bill is at $25.09. But the approval is $25.03, and then we're adding that 6 cents, if that makes sense. Just to show that number. What that means is you can call CRNR. If you have your oil from your vehicle and you want to return it, you can just leave it curbside, call CRNR, they'll pick it up from your home. So similar rates, here's for commercial. It's going back up by that 2.3% across the board. So you can see the two columns for the different fiscal years. as well as roll-off rates for commercial services. This is 2.8 for service charges and 3.2 for tonnage charges. So there's a rate for the service and there's a per weight charge. And so they have different CPI numbers related to them, and that's why they result in different numbers. There's a general other services, which is a list that's provided here that you can see, and that follows that 2.3% result in the adjustment factors. So with that, I'd like to open the public hearing, or request that the public hearing be open to hear public comments regarding the proposed rate schedule. And after listening to the comments of the resolution I've just sent, I'll be here for any questions.
I now will open the public hearing if there's anyone wishing to speak on this item.
We have no speakers here.
Thank you. I will now bring it back to this, this hearing is now closed. I will bring it back to the city council for any comments.
Can you summarize, Abraham, like the total overall rate increase, like percent and dollars wise? I mean, what's per month?
Yes, definitely. So let me go back to that slide. Here it is. So for residential, there's the schedule, and I understand it's confusing. There's a lot of line items, but for the majority of the residents is the first line item, the cart service, which includes three bins, one for refuse, one for recycling, and then the green waste. It is currently, or residents are seeing $24.47, so 6 cents, which is standard. So they see a bill of $24.53 right now, and it's going to, they'll see a $25.09 in their bill. The bill as they receive it at home is three components. One is the water, if they have water service, the sewer, if they have sewer service, and then the trash, which is this number. So together they add up to what you see at home. That's why you might not recognize this number, but it's in your bill inside. It's one of the three items will be this. So we're reviewing and updating only this rate, the trash.
So the 56 cents per month increase for the.
That is correct.
Waste. Thank you.
May I get a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 25 through 42?
I so move.
Second.
Mayor, we're waiting for your vote.
I don't have it on my screen. Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, now we move on to new business, the approval of estatement, purchase and sale agreement between the Imperial Irrigation District and the City of El Centro. This presentation is by Mr. Abraham as well.
All right, so good evening again on this item. This is actually we get to get a payment from IID, but it's in exchange for something, right? So we're happy to work with IID. This is an S line. So what is this? It's an alignment of power poles. They are at the boundary of the city of El Centro and the city of Imperial. So from this area, this would be La Brucherie. You can see Walmart right here. The drain, and this transition point between, this drain is a transition point or the boundary between the city of Imperial to the north and the city of El Centro to the south. The S line runs east and west, and it is what is the name of the power pole line that runs east and west to the city here in this area. They replaced it from wood poles to steel poles. There's less steel poles, but they're a lot taller. So they need additional area to be able to maintain and operate them. IID reached out to the city because we own the wastewater treatment plant, which includes this lot. And there's an easement, a right-of-way request that they're asking just south of the drain and basically on the northern boundary of the City of El Centro wastewater treatment plant. It's about 50-some feet. It's in the location. The City of El Centro retains the land in fee. That means we're the owners, but we're allowing IID to have an easement so and what that means is they can access that area to maintain the power pole that they install. So they can set their equipment, set their boom trucks, install a new pole, or whatever they need for electric or communication purposes. They're asking for an easement. So because the process does not serve a City of El Centro use, we get to request proper compensation for that easement because we're potentially losing some access to that land in terms of placing buildings or placing equipment out there. We looked at the location, wastewater treatment plants looked at the location, and it doesn't impact operation. So we're okay with the location. It's generally in line where we have the fence right now. Anyhow, so it works for us. ID did some comparable cost market comparables, and they came up with a number that's presented on the agenda of 38,375. So in exchange for the easement, the ID will buy it from us for 38,375. So with that, I'm looking for your approval to approve the easement purchase and sell agreement between the IID and the City of El Centro, and I'll be here to answer any questions you may have.
Abraham, so I just want a clarification. So they're purchasing the land or just a right of way to be able to utilize it for their poles?
The right of way, not
The right of way, and the property stays because the cities?
Yes.
So they're renting their way through it in a simplified?
It's an easement. What that means is similar if we have it in front of our homes. There's many times you see the transformers for the IID, the green boxes, right? And they're many times literally in our grass area just before the sidewalk. So the IID has an easement, the right to get an access, replace a transformer, dig under our sidewalks, demolish our sprinklers. It's still our land, but the IID has a public utility easement in that, or there's a public utility easement in that area. This is the same chain of thought on this one. We would own the land. We could potentially go out there, keep it clean, put a fence up, and as long as it doesn't interfere with IID processes. It's just that the easement has limitations. We cannot place a building on this easement or a permanent structure because if IID needs to put a pole where we're putting a building, then no. But the city could continue to use it for drainage or other purposes.
And is it normal just to have, I know it states here that we agreed with the appraisal, but is there not a procedure where there's at least another appraisal presented on behalf of the city, or do we just normally just take their appraisal?
In this case, they provided others. We could ask for a formal appraisal to look at it. We looked at the comparables, and there were other industrial zones very similar to this one, and so we believe the item is the amount is adequate based on the comparables. But it could be a direction that you can provide and say, hey, go back, get a formal appraisal, and it could come lower, it could come higher. But what was presented, we feel is adequate.
Okay. And what was the area again? Just to
It's-
make sure.
It's the very northern boundary.
Oh, I mean, number wise.
I'm sorry?
Is it the feet, square feet or what?
It's a good question. Because I know it's about 60 feet, 50 to 60 feet south of the boundary, which is actually a very tiny sliver. This is a big lot.
Yeah.
There's a very tiny sliver on the north edge, but it's along the whole stretch, which is 1,500 linear feet. So from this point in the middle to this point is about 1,500 feet.
Thank you.
Abraham, in the background, it said that they took down the wooden poles and they put up metal poles. Is that the reason why? I mean, did they put them in the same location? What's the why that they need a wider easement than what they've had all this time? That's question. And then the other one that I would only have concern, do you have any concerns with any future growth of that plant or operations that would cause any confliction with?
You're right on. We check both items. Regarding I asked the same question. Hey, you have an existing easement there for those wood poles. Why do you need it bigger? And their answer was, it's a taller facility, so they need bigger equipment, and there's more width for them than there was before. So that's why they require additional easement width. Regarding the operations, we did check with staff. First, that was the second call. We did call the wastewater plant. We did go out there and look at it. And the easement line, and I should have brought a picture, but it's not going to affect us because we already have a fence very close to the area that they're asking. It was already outside sort of our useful area, so it didn't impact operation.
Thank you.
So at this time, council, we ask for a motion and a second.
I make a motion that we accept the item as written.
I will second.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
So Abraham, they're gonna, I mean, I know I've seen on the other side of the drain ditch where Imperial is, they got these big metal tall posts with the high power lines up in the top. And on our side, we have the wooden posts that are really close to they're right on the ditch bank, so they don't have like enough, like you said, enough room for the big equipment to put them, the big posts in. They're gonna have to go across, if you zoom out, they're gonna have to go across all those fields by easements all the way across your fields and to wherever it goes.
They already did. The poles are up, and this is them catching up to buy the easement on our end.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they already went through this process with the private owners. And for us, it was a delayed item, and thankfully to one of those 2-on-2 meetings that we had with IAD, it was brought up and expedited. So now we can get it.
Ours would be a real simple deal compared to the other ones. Right.
Definitely, if there's an existing structure there, that's another story. But in our case, we didn't have anything.
As part of their, I think it was $1.1 billion infrastructure improvement is going from wood to metal, larger and bigger power lines and all that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we will have a presentation by James Thompson, our lieutenant, please.
Mayor, City Council, how is everyone?
Fine, yourself. Thank you.
Good. That's excellent. I'll try to keep this painless. So we're requesting to modify our city ordinance related to the illegal camping and illegal storage of property on public right-of-ways. To give you a little bit of background on this project, in 2018, there was a case that made its way up through the appellate courts. It was Martin versus Boise, and it pretty much handicapped everyone in the Ninth Circuit, law enforcement, in the enforcement of quality of life issues related to homeless, where they slept at night, where they kept their property. It pretty much decriminalized all behavior, and it took away a lot of our tools in dealing with the problem. Last year, the Supreme Court overturned the lower court's ruling, and it pretty much left everyone in the Ninth Circuit, which is our district, kind of wondering, how are we going to move forward? Because for so many years, we've been told, hey, this subject right here is kind of hands off. In May of this year, Governor Newsom, he issued an ordinance that was pretty much directing the cities how to handle the issue moving forward. This was a project that at the time, Chief Sawyer had directed us to start. Now Chief Brown is very adamant that we get it right. And part of the reason being, it's really easy to change the words on the paper. But as Betsy understands, the liability behind our actions of enforcing these issues could create a lot of problems. And I know that there were a lot of questions brought up at the town hall meeting that we had with the downtown business owners. And we want to make sure that we get this right. So what we're asking is that we modify the ordinance to allow the officers to be able to charge certain crimes as a misdemeanor. That being said, I won't reveal who, but 2 people on the dais have many years of law enforcement experience. And there's a big difference between when they started in law enforcement and the officers that are coming out of the academy today. So what I don't want is I don't want everyone to think just because we can charge everything a certain way, that's how we're going to handle the situation. So we actually have a plan in place, which involves still, offering services, trying to, connect individuals with behavioral health and SUD program and different rehabilitation centers so they can get the help they need. However, changing this ordinance will allow us to be able to proceed forward with some criminal action if they refuse all services. We need to have an ability to correct problems. That way our downtown business owners aren't suffering. That's pretty much it.
Well, we do have a blue slip that would like to speak. Pete Rodriguez would like to speak on this item, please.
Good evening, members of the council, and great presentation there. Anyway, I think the concern that I have with, I know Glasgow had a similar program going on, and they use task force of police officers, social workers, and behavioral health going out to these homeless camps. There were problems similar to what we are, but every potential client or potential suspect is an individual. The one that's lays on 4th Street every time I ride a bike, I know he has money because he gets up and buys coffee and something from Jack in the Box and walks by and he lays down. He's not a problem with my bike. Doesn't disturb anyone that I see, especially in the morning. He's not bothering anybody. But there's individuals that where they're at is just called these services. The ones I see are really in front of bonds a lot. A lot. I don't know why they don't go to Costco, Walmart. I guess they've been dispersed or told not to be there. But each situation, each individual is different. And some will accept treatment and some won't. Then that's when law enforcement steps in. So I pretty much agree with Lieutenant Thompson's presentation, but just remember that each individual they're not cookie cutters. They're human beings that need to be dealt delicately, or they could turn violently real quick. And the guy that's on 4th, we pass by, we don't communicate or nothing. He gives my space, I give him his space, 6 feet, fair enough. He doesn't bother me. He doesn't honestly bother anyone. But these are different situations. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could address one more thing. Our police department, we don't target groups of people. So I want to make sure everyone understands here in the audience, everywhere, that this isn't the police department targeting homeless. What it is we're going after criminal behavior. And there are people that you see out on the street that actually have a home. They get services, they choose to be there, and they still have stuff out on the street, and they're still in violation of the law as it sits today. We're going to treat everyone the same. Again, we're going to target criminal behavior. We don't target groups of people just because of, different issues that they may or may not have. And the point that I was trying to make about our new officers coming out of the academy, this is the one area where they don't want to make arrests. They're taught much better de-escalation techniques than we were in the past, and different social issues and how to deal with them. And they really want to help people because in their mind, they're problem solvers, and it's much easier to get someone off the street and into rehab than to get them into jail and then keep taking them to jail because, it's an ongoing issue. So although we're asking to be able to arrest for certain crimes, it's not going to be the solution to our problem. We're not just going to go out and arrest everyone that's out on the street.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Now, council, may I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 25-04, please?
May I make a comment?
Yeah,
real quick?
sure.
I really appreciate the last statement you made because I know that it's a very difficult topic because they are humans. We're dealing with people's mothers, fathers, their family members. And so you have some people that are always complaining about, oh, the homeless here, the homeless here, the homeless are here. Then you have the other ones, well, then we need to make sure that they're treated as individuals, and we can't please everybody because some people go on both sides of the fence. And so I just wanted to say that I appreciate that, and I think that being able to give that type of wraparound service is going to be key by working with other entities within the city and so forth, so that we can go forward and try to provide that assistance. And I know that Mayor Carter is also working to look at some of the shelter issues that have for a long time not been addressed directly. And I think that it's something that is necessary in the city of El Centro. It's not, this is a tool to begin to use it, but it's not the end. And we do need to get to the end, which is going to be able to provide some type of shelter and assistance for those that want it, and work with county and other city officials to help those that can't help themselves. There's a range of people that are in this population when we speak about homeless. So I just wanted to say that.
Very well said. Thank you.
And with that, I'll make a motion to
I'd
approve.
like to make a
Okay, go
comment
ahead.
if I could. So this is a difficult topic. And for some reason, we've connected law enforcement with homeless, which is absolutely false. Law enforcement doesn't have anything to do with homeless, other than they're on the streets and our officers are on the streets. Homeless is a societal issue, and it's a policy issue that we're all trying to deal with. It's a frustrating from the law enforcement side, and yes, I'm a dinosaur. I've been out there for a while and doing my thing. But I do believe that we can always treat people with compassion. And because all of our families probably have different, subsets of our families. Could be, it's by the grace of God sometimes that we're not in that situation. But I think that when it comes to everybody, that we have an obligation to make sure that we do everything that we can for them and for our city to keep it clean and keep it, I would go further to all city property, loitering on city streets. I need you to move. If you don't want to move, then we have a remedy, which is something we don't have right now. There's no consequences to action. And I think that that's where this is also coming. When we talk about the removal of abandoned property, because people drive down Interstate 8 and they see encampments, and it's just the ugliest thing that you could connect El Centro to. And it's not, there's still a compassion there. This is a crazy time to live here. This is the worst time to be out on the street. And we want to get people help. But I also will tell you the homeless is synonymous with drug addiction as well. So it's not always the people who are out on the streets because of just, they lost their job or something to that. There's a lot of personal choice. And I know that from my own family that I've seen. So it's not just something I'm callous and cynical to. It's something I've seen on a personal basis. We see lots of homeless pushing shopping carts. I'll raise my hand thinking that's probably not their shopping cart, right? I believe it's probably a stolen property. Something that we can look at as starting to have some enforcement into our city ordinances, because our city ordinances are basically for our city. The state does their thing, the feds do their thing. Our city ordinance is what we kind of want to happen within our jurisdiction. So encampments, there was a time that you could go and say, okay, look, everyone, you need to move out of Adams Park or Tri Park or Stark Field or wherever it might be. We got football coming this year, or this is the time. And then if they didn't do it, then we could come in and actually have some enforcement. And I think that carries over to the city, that we have an obligation, if the officers do what they are going to have to do, if on some cases, then we need to stand by them and enforce that action, because nothing worse than having no teeth to something, because no consequence, you'll get the same results. So I just wanted to be very clear that I think sometimes on public property, aggressive help, and that's what I believe possibly Lieutenant Thompson was talking about, is let's try to find the lowest common denominator to get you where you need to go. But let's also have something that we
if you're not going to take it, we need to move you along. And I'm a true believer in that. And I think that we should do a little more with some of the other city ordinances we have as well. And we can look at that as we progress. So that was my comment.
Thank you, thank you. We hear a lot from the community and from the public, and one of the concerns that we heard a lot in our town hall was about our homeless situation, and it's everywhere. It's not just here, it's everywhere. And as you know, we go to a lot of our meetings out of town and different stuff. You get to collaborate with the different cities and see how we are a little better off than other cities are. So it may be bad here, but I've seen pictures of other places and I'm just like, wow, low key thankful that we're only where we're at and we don't have what they have going on. So it's big situations, and that doesn't, brush off what we have going on here. And we just been advocating for it. We've been out there. We've been talking to the homeless. A lot of them want help. A lot of them don't want help. We all know that. That's not nothing that's news. But those that do need help and are willing to take the help, we're here. We're listening to the community, and that's what we do. And we're here to help in any way that we can. Did you have anything?
And I'm listening to, all the comments, and, something that we learned when the methadone clinic was here to make their presentation is that the individuals that are lingering or loitering in front of their establishment are not even their patients or their clients. Okay.
No.
In a conversation with the director of the Imperial County Social Services, she also shared with me that many of these, and I'm going to piggyback on something that Lieutenant Thompson said, many of these individuals have homes. They just choose to be out on the street, and they loiter. And, and of course, the perception from the community is that these individuals are homeless, that they're just causing problems, and that they're making the area unsafe. And so, that is where, and unfortunately, it's a stigma. And so, we as a city then need to start, enforcing,
yes,
the rules, so that hopefully, it'll then deter, that activity of people that have a home to go to, but they don't want to be at home. They'd rather be out on the streets, it's like, and so I think also for the, the businesses that do have, the individuals that are lingering and loitering, I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive. I was commenting to the people that were at my table at the town hall meeting that one way to deter that is to ensure that they put the proper signage up on their businesses in terms of no loitering, no trespassing, because otherwise they don't have a leg to stand on, when they call the police and say, these people are trespassing. So, I purposely passed by the methadone clinic, and you know what? They do have the signage up there, but these people don't obey signs, and so it's like, it's just like we all as a community have to do our part as well, to, keep these individuals moving along.
Yes.
It's just like, and something I always remember, something Chief said, that it's not a crime to be homeless, but then again, it doesn't give them the right to become public nuisances. And, it's unfortunately, it's just like that is what the community is complaining about. So, I'm all in favor for, making, the changes so that we can then, make those, take steps to start to get these people, to either move along or to accept the help that many of them don't want. Throughout the course of my term on the council, I've learned about the different types of homeless individuals. Many of the majority are by choice. So, it's just like, so I'm glad that this is coming, down the pipeline, and that we're making these changes so that we can give our officers the ability to at least take action.
That's right. That's right. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you. And I know we had a motion by
Yes.
Councilmember Camarena. Did anybody?
I will
want to
second it, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we're gonna have a presentation by Mr. Mario. This is a transfer of the time capsule location to the Imperial Valley Regional Chambers of Commerce.
Good evening again. This presentation covers the time capsule transfer project, a collaborative effort with the Imperial Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce. The Commerce is respectfully requesting the formal transfer of a historical time capsule originally placed in 1976 for its current location at 1095 South 4th Street, also city-owned property. This formal request is intended to document the transfer for future city leaders and ensure the preservation of this important piece of local history. The time capsule, as I mentioned, was originally placed in 1976 at the former El Centro Chamber of Commerce building, now the site of our new police headquarters, currently under construction. The capsule was a result of a collaboration between the City of El Centro, the then El Centro Chamber, and students from Wilson Junior High School. It contains 64 historical items and is intended to be opened in 2076. The capsule was removed in February 2024 to accommodate construction and is currently stored at the city's Public Works Yard. City engineers have completed design plans for its repair and reinstallation at the chamber's current location. The estimated cost for the work is estimated to be $9,800. At this time, I'd like to invite Sherry Cowie, President and CEO of the Imperial Valley Regional Commerce, to provide the official request on behalf of the chamber.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and esteemed council members. On behalf of the Imperial Valley Regional Chamber of Commerce, I'm here today to respectfully request the city's support and approval to relocate a very special piece of our community's history, the El Centro time capsule. Originally placed in 1976 at the former El Centro Chamber of Commerce location, now the El Centro Police Department, this time capsule has since been removed and is currently in the care of the City of El Centro. We are requesting your approval to place it at our current location at 1095 South 4th Street, continuing the legacy of preserving our shared history. To commemorate this important relocation, we are planning a community event in August or September. We hope to include city officials, community members, IVRCC board members, and even the original students who helped place the capsule nearly 50 years ago. We're also inviting students from Wilson Junior High, ages 12 through 14, to participate in the ceremony and carry this history forward with the next generation. As part of this process, we will add a new letter to the capsule alongside the original one, which is currently with the city clerk. The new letter will explain the reason for the move and note its new location, ensuring that when it's opened 1 month before the nation's tricentennial in 2076, there is a clear and documented record of its journey. We're excited about the opportunity to continue honoring the past while building toward the future, and we will be grateful for your partnership in making this moment meaningful for generations to come. Thank you for your consideration. And I would also like to ask if I could invite, we do have one of the students who was there during the placement of the time capsule, Julie Popejoy, so I would like to invite her to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Sheriff reached out to me last year and said, do you know anything about this? And I went, yeah. And so, yes, I was one of the it was 7th and 8th grade combined. There were 60 of us that participated. Each of us have a short autobiography in there and our thoughts of what 2076 would look like. And so I actually sang America the Beautiful that day. And anyway, so yes, this means a lot to me personally and certainly to a lot of my classmates. So I thank you for your consideration.
Oh, thank you.
So city staff is respectfully recommending approval of the transfer to the new location, and I'm available to answer any questions you may have at this time.
I have a
This
comment.
is exciting. Yes, go ahead.
Well, this is where I'm dating myself, because I was not at Wilson anymore. I was already in high school when this happened. But when we were unearthing the time capsule last year, when the construction of the police department started, when I learned about, what it said on the plaque, I thought, oh my gosh, do you remember Mr. Watson? Yeah, so I reached out to Mr. Watson, and oh my gosh, he had such fond memories of all of this. And it was Mr. Hawkins who led the project, right? Yeah, so one of my sister's favorite teachers, so yeah, I got a lot of, Mr. Watson passed away not too long ago. And so, it was nice to have had, take him down memory lane. And oh my gosh, I got so much more, as far as the story that went behind all of this, and a lot of the students that, that he mentored. But it was really nice to speak to him and go down memory lane with him. And, just to share, the story about how all of this came about. So, it's just like,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank
yeah.
you for sharing
I
with
was,
us.
that was nice. Yeah.
I just want to know, is that what it's going to be, what it looks like? It's going to be the same thing, what it's being repaired to the square?
I believe it's going to get another encasing around it. Simply, that's what it looks like right now. So that's when we transferred it to.
All right.
Good evening, again. So before I answer that, I just want to say, wow, this thing was built for the 100 years.
Wow.
It gave us a lot of work to be able to open it, well, not open it, but just to remove it. Hopefully there's some instructions on how to open it somewhere because we couldn't figure it out. But hopefully in 50 years, they have technology that will be able to just see through it, right? And they can figure out how to open it. I'm also curious what does another 50 years will do, right? But for now, as you can see in the picture in the middle, we did significant surface damage to it, just trying to get the plaque out and salvage it. So what's being proposed is to patch it to the original square shape. And that will make room for, basically that way we can relocate the existing plaque to one side to make room for the new letter or plaque that the county would be installing. So in shape, it will look exactly as it was before and will be painted back up the way it was. And we have it at our public works yard. We will be relocating on site to the new location. And it will be available for the public at that point in coordination with the chamber on the event that they're hosting. And really nice and honored to have somebody from that time that can maybe explain what's in there and go from there.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Abraham.
So I will tell you that when the chamber moved out, I was working with the police department, and part of my prior life before police work was construction. So I've done and touched pretty much all that old building and built new stuff where the chamber was. And I so bad wanted to sledge that thing open. And they kept me from it. But that was a very tempting couple days when once you guys moved out, no one was watching, so.
Well, Deputy Chief Brown took a couple of hammers at it and almost hurt himself in the process. So.
He's known as Hammer now, so Chief Hammer.
Okay, well, can I get a motion and a second to move this baby to its new home?
yes, I'd like to make the motion
I'll
to
second.
relocate the time capsule.
Thank you, thank you.
We need a second?
second.
Mike
It was-
second.
Yes, Mike second.
Oh, okay.
It didn't come up on my screen.
We still see. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, appreciate that. Now, we're going to move to item 16, that's counseling the July 1st, 2025 City Council meeting. This is a time that a lot of people will be out visiting with family, on vacation. So if I can get a motion and a second to cancel the meeting.
Yes, I'd like to make the motion to cancel the July 1st meeting.
I second. Go ahead.
I was like, I'm waiting, you guys. Thank you.
So we get a little bit of a vacation ourselves.
Just a
too,
little
right?
bit.
Motion to cancel all the summer meetings.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Now we will move on to our task force reports. And if we can start with Councilmember Crankshaw, please.
Of course. Thank you. I had a chance to go to quite a few things. I'll try to keep it brief as it's, I was fortunate enough to go to the police, our local IVC Police Academy graduation, where I know that we've also have gotten a couple of employees from. It's a great feeder to the valley for officers coming out of there. Like the rest of my my co-counsel, we went to the downtown event, the town hall meeting, and then over to the Explorer graduation, which the PD does an awesome job in the partnership with Calvary Chapel, and the father is really great for the kids. It's great for the city. I thought it was a wonderful event. Monday went to the Economic Summit with pretty much everyone here. That's pretty much it. So I know that we had I did have a meeting that we will be discussing later in regards to an event, but that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councilmember Camarena.
Also attended the meetings and events that have been going on, but first I did want to give a shout out to all of our graduates. A lot of accomplishments that were made, and some people maybe barely made it, but they made it. And that's why it's important that we provide them with support and encouragement and so forth, so that way they can not be discouraged, but continue to reach their potentials in whatever grade they're at. So want to give a shout out to all the graduates, and also a lot of, honestly, this last 2 weeks been meeting with a lot of constituents. I've been getting calls to go and meet them. I got to stop having lunch with people because this is getting out of control. But or I have to learn how to say no to the food part at least. But a lot of constituents just really wanting to be involved, wanting to have input, and wanting their voice heard. And so I think it's good that they're reaching out and feeling that they're part of the city and their voice matters. So I appreciate those calls, and as usual, I'm available for in-person and phone meetings as they're beginning to take notice of. And one of the events I will mention that I went to was the summer kickoff movie night at the Aquatic Center. That was amazing. I was so many families, so many children, so excited to be there. And it just shows how when we do provide something, I want to give a shout out to our staff, because I know it's a lot of work, and I know that there's a lot of planning involved, but just to see the faces of those children and the families makes it worth it. And so I'm excited for the plans that we have for downtown. I'm excited for what's coming up as far as more events, and hopefully we'll just keep growing El Centro and keeping that community aspect alive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilmember Marakin.
So I too was at some of the events that were mentioned, the Explorer graduation ceremony. Good job, Deputy Chief Brown or Chief Brown. This is like so, I had, some family commitments and events that I had, so I wasn't able to go to everything. But, the downtown town hall meeting, my gosh, that's a tongue twister, isn't it? That one, again, we got a lot of input from, those that were sitting at our individual tables, so again, and as I previously mentioned, some of the concerns that they had were what I had spoken about when we passed the changes on the ordinance. So, we had a long special council meeting last week, and aside from that, I pretty much busy with just our own meetings here. So, already.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Elliott.
Yes, thank you. So there were plenty of events to go to. The Wednesday after our last council meeting, no, I'm sorry, on 6/3, Wednesday the 4th, I was able to attend the RN, it wasn't the nursing graduation, but the nursing rehearsal. So I'm a Gideon, and we hand out testaments, we put them in hotels, hand them out to junior highs, things like that, and also nurses. And there were 70 nurses graduating the next day. This was rehearsal. So they've never had a class. It's not like there was 3 classes, and I've never seen that many graduating nurses at once. So I was very, very, very impressed. Got to speak to them and help encourage them, prepare them for their future. It was very encouraging. Do you think 70 nursing jobs? How are they going to? And most of them did not have jobs already. But when we fill our local nursing needs, we'll probably cut back on the classes. But until then, they'll just keep cranking them out. So it's a great, great program. IVC nursing program is one of the best in this entire state of California. And everybody wants to come to California to work, all the travelers. That's another story. But it was really encouraging to have that huge class graduating. And they'll all find jobs right away. Then, like the others, we were at the town hall meeting down at the old post office pavilion, which I think demonstrated the need for us to reach out a lot more and make contact with these folks downtown to really get to know their concerns, our concerns, and how to meet together. Then the Ivy Economic Development and Energy Summit was a day and a half at IVC. The upshot of that is that this entire message could be boiled down to that the Imperial County is poised for a massive investment of commercial activity here. We've got space, we have land, it's cheap, we're next to the border, we have infrastructure, we have Interstate 8, we have rail, and 10 is not very far. So anyway, that was really the upshot of that long summit that really wasn't geared to us, but just to see that there's terrific opportunity here, obviously including lithium, but more than that, much more than that. And the second day, Jeff Gonzalez was there. Got to speak to him a little bit as well. He's doing a great job in Sacramento. And then we just got to be at the first day of the aquatic center opening for the summer. It was a free day, and it was packed with kids. So that was a great thing. I just wanted to say, June being Father's Day. Let me go back real quick to this Eagle Scout we had before us, Frank Aceves. And this kid, I wanted him to say more, but I didn't want to take up too much time. His, this Scout pledge is the 3 fingers is service to God and country and people, friends, community. That's really impressive. And so kids brought up like that with a strong father, he's got a great future. And I want to give a big shout out to all the fathers, being Father's Day this month, and how fathers are the answer to a plethora of issues and problems, and they're a rare commodity. We need to support them and encourage them. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's exactly what I was going to say, that I hope those that were a father enjoyed their Father's Day and just had a wonderful time with your family and your friends. As my colleagues mentioned, we attended a lot of events. I've attended all these as well, and met with a lot of folks in the community that have voices that really want to be heard, and I do not mind. I love what we do. So I will yield that part and go into the mayor's mentions. The road closure for the city of El Centro will be closing 12th Street between Broadway and Main Street beginning tomorrow through early August. This closure is required to support construction efforts for the city new police headquarters. Drivers are encouraged to use alternate routes during this time. We apologize for any inconvenience and appreciate the public's patience. Please see the information included for your coverage consideration. Okay, and then we had the library summer reading program. That was an amazing event. We got to pass our fear of holding a snake. Some of us, we got past that. So the picture looks like we just all enjoyed it. But back there, we were like, oh, Lord, hurry up and take this picture. The library summer reading program kicked off this week and will continue for the next 6 weeks. It will have programs for children, teens, and adults. See what they have to offer with the calendar of events on their Facebook page. All events are free. Also, inspiring creative art. I want to invite you to enjoy a vibrant collection of original oil painting that reflects creativity, passion, and personal expression with our Inspire and Creative Art exhibit at the Old Post Office Pavilion. The art exhibit is open to the public Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon and from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., now through July 18th. The exhibit features art from our talented participants of the Art Center. If you have not went by there, please make it a point to go by there. A lot of these artists are first-time artists, and you could not tell by looking at their work. It is wonderful. I really, really enjoyed myself. A couple of the colleagues and I, we were there, and very nice, very nice. Thanks to the Imperial Irrigation District, I want to close out by thanking the IID for awarding the city $5,000 for its water safety and summer activity grant. The city will use these funds for the summer free swim admission program and discounted swim lessons for eligible youth. I'm also excited to announce that our aquatic center received more than 1,500 applications. Wow. For our program, and staff is still reviewing them. We appreciate your patience as our staff reviews those applications. Wow, that's a lot of kids that really want to participate. And that is our mayor's mention. And now I will turn to our acting city manager.
So my promise normally is to keep it short, but I do have a couple things I want to cover. First and foremost, we attended, a number of us attended our high school graduations here. And I do want to really recognize the efforts of the police department with Chief Brown and his staff, and really the color guard that escorted Efren Cornell's daughter, Gally, as she made her way to the stage and back to the seats. That was a beautiful and very touching event that I was really honored to be a part of and be present at. So please thank all of your staff for that. That was, it was very deserving, but it was very heartwarming at the same time, very humbling. So thank the staff for that, please. The IBC Academy graduation, again, Chief Brown was our keynote speaker there. That was a great honor for us as a city to have him be recognized as the keynote speaker, but also to be able to scoop up some talent. We do have some talent that's joining our police department as a result of the graduation there. And all the staff at the IBC Police Academy is all local staff, including one of your council members. So we have some very talented individuals, and the city of El Centro and the county of Imperial, and really the sun does shining with opportunities. And I'm going to add to that in just a second. The Explorer graduation was phenomenal. I had the opportunity to meet with members of the Regional Chamber of Commerce to talk about their Fiesta of America activities on July 5th, and more to come on that, I'm sure, at the next council meeting. But Sharon met with us and really kind of gave us some insight. They have some exciting things planned. So I look forward to that. I have an upcoming meeting with the Methadone Clinic to continue our discussions based on their appearance here, and I'm looking forward to that. They have been a good partner so far in allocating some time to meet and go over some of the concerns. I've also shared some of the questions that we had with them as well, and I look forward to that coming up. I'll bring that back to council as well. The IID check presentation was phenomenal today, but I really wanted to point out, because you spoke about the donation and everything. Two things I really want to point out is, it's not just the city of El Centro, it's the partnerships we build in the county. And we talked about that. It's partnerships, it's relationships and everything else. And I thought it was very, very fitting and very nice to be recognized that we're actually working with our sister city in Brawley to be able to allow them to have water time here in El Centro while they repair their pools. So I wanted to point that out to the public as well. We do our best to support all the surrounding cities, except during the Bell game. That is Brawley versus El Centro. There's a line that day, but it goes away following that day. Also, I found it very fitting that today was National Mascot Day, and we got to take a picture with Dippy Duck. It's been around since 1959, practicing water safety in the valley. So that was a neat little thing. And then lastly, I'll just say this, a lot of people will say when you start a new position, you hit the ground running. I will tell you, I was dropped in the middle of the ocean. I hit the water swimming. And I mean that in a positive way. And here's what I mean by that. The city has so much going on. There are just moving parts all over the city that pull you in every direction. And there's growth, there's expansion, there's just a lot of opportunities here. And what I found is there's no way I would be able to tread water, let alone swim ahead, without our staff. And I said this last time, but I truly mean it, especially being new to the position of acting city manager. We have a great team, but now more than ever, I recognize the efforts that they put forward. And it goes for every department throughout the city. I could talk for a lot longer, and I won't because people are going to pull me off the stage here. But truly, our staff has made the last couple weeks very memorable, but very advantageous for the city and for our citizens. So again, thank you to staff, and I have a lot of key people I can call out, but I don't have enough time to do that. So I'll suffice it with that. It's my honor to serve, but it's my honor because we have a great group of people that really lift the city up and move the city forward and provide me a method and means to continue to swim forward as we grow. But thank you very much and have a wonderful night. Thanks.
Thank you, thank you.
Madam Mayor, before you adjourn, the city clerk wants to remind you of a slight change in the format of your next meeting, which will be an adjourned meeting.
Yes, so for the next adjourned meeting on the 24th, we're gonna have closed session at 12:30.
Yes.
And we're gonna have open session starting at 2 p.m.
Yes,
And then we're gonna go back to closed session after if needed.
yes,
That meeting will include the budget presentation by Andy Heath.
yes.
So bring popcorn.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. And with that being said, this meeting is adjourned till Tuesday, June 24th at 12:30 p.m.